Catch a Glitch merch is out now, man. I got the white colors coming soon, but so far we got the black tap, man. We got medium, small, large. Lock in, man. $45 a shirt.
It wasn't always blood on the pavement. Names turned into numbers, or whole cliques built around death dates. Drill was born in Chicago, carried to New York, spread to Atlanta. Texas already had its own wars, long before anyone called it drill. Until one page rewrote the script. Dallas Drill. It turned the streets into a stage. Every body, every betrayal, every scream was no longer
like this in every state now.
Just a secret of the hood. It was out in the open, on screens for the world to see. What was pain became spectacle. And soon, Houston caught the fire. San Antonio followed. The name spread like a curse. And with it came the killings, the blood, the fear. Texas is no longer just a scene. It's a graveyard, a drill scene carved from violence and death. This is Texas Drill, Death in the South.
Man, this drill rap, bro, it's dying out though. It is.
On the north side of Houston, there's a clique with many faces, many names. Some call them SSC, the Silent Sack Chasers. Others call them K for K, known on the streets as Kill for Kill. Two names, but when tragedy hit, they came together under something even darker. They started calling themselves SOG, Spaz Out Gang. This wasn't just a new title, it was a vow, a pledge, a way to honor the life of the young man they lost. A member they called Spaz. In the streets, names don't fade, they echo. And when Spaz was murdered, his clique made sure his name would never die. They branded it into their identity.
Yo, drop a W.
They even gave him a number.
Man, I ain't sipped no lean or none of that in over like 3-4 years now, since 2022. I'm clean, man. Health as well.
23. The date he was taken from them, July 23rd, 2022.
I still cheap to keep though.
It was the early morning of July 23rd, 2022. The streets of Spring, Texas were quiet until violence ripped the silence apart. Around 4:45 a.m., deputies with Harris County Precinct 4 got the call, a shooting in the Breckenridge West subdivision. When officers arrived, what they saw was something straight out of a nightmare. A silver Honda sat abandoned in the middle of Stanley Canyon Drive, its doors still open, its windows shattered by gunfire. And lying in the roadway was Spaz, just 18 years old, his body unresponsive, his life already gone before help could arrive. Two of his friends stood there frozen in shock. They had watched the whole thing unfold. They had pulled up with Spaz that night, and now they were standing over his body. But the nightmare wasn't over. A second 911 call came in just minutes later. Another victim, shot during the chaos, was stumbling through the neighborhood, knocking on a stranger's door, begging for help. That man survived, but Spaz never got that chance. Investigators pieced the scene together. According to the witnesses, Spaz and his crew had driven into that subdivision for one reason: to fight a teenager named Jamarian.
To fight?
The two sides met in the street, fists flying under the dim glow of streetlights.
Right.
The fight eventually broke apart, but instead of walking away, Jamarian pulled out a pistol. He raised it toward the silver Honda and unleashed a storm of bullets. Glass exploded, metal tore apart. Both Spaz and another passenger were struck. And just like that, an 18-year-old's life was erased in the middle of a neighborhood street. After the gunfire, Jamarian ran, disappearing into the dark, leaving Spaz dead in the road and his friends standing in silence. Not long after the shooting, investigators named their suspect, 18-year-old Jamarian Williams. Witnesses told deputies he was the one who pulled the gun, the one who fired into the Honda that night. He was arrested and charged with murder. 2 years later, on October 3rd, 2024, Jamarian stood in a Harris County courtroom. He didn't fight the case, he pled guilty. The judge sentenced him to 20 years in prison.
Sheesh. Pled guilty. Straight up. Like, how dare you? He said he got 20?
Silent Sack Chasers isn't just one set moving by themselves. They're clicked up with multiple gangs in Houston. One of those gangs is 200 Gang, out of 4 acres homes, a hood better known as the Murda. SSC rapper CEO Gucci claims he's from Garden City, also called the Bricks, just a 4-minute drive from the Murda. But CEO Gucci and SSC don't post up everywhere. They thug in acres homes. That's where you'll find them. Silent Sack Chasers isn't just tied in with 200 Gang. They're also clicked up with 8-9. 8-9 carries its name as a tribute. It stands for August 9th, 2021, the day a young man named Keyshawn, known on the streets as KJ, was shot and killed. The 8th month, the 9th day, his death date became their identity. His name became their flag. After he was killed, they started calling themselves Keyshawn Marksman. August 9th, 2021, the middle of the day in Northwest Houston. On Pittner Road, the sun was out, kids were playing, and life looked normal. But by noon, the sound of gunfire turned an apartment complex into a killing ground. 2 young men were in the parking lot that day. 20-year-old Keyshawn Cornett, known as KJ, and his friend Lee Edwards, just 19. According to investigators, a man approached them. Words were exchanged. Voices rose. What started as an argument escalated fast. The man pulled out a gun. The quiet of that afternoon was shattered by shots. Bullets ripped through the air. Both KJ and Lee were hit. In a desperate attempt to save his life, KJ jumped into a car and tried to drive away. But he didn't make it far. The vehicle rolled to a stop inside the complex, with KJ's body in the back seat. He never made it out. His body was left in the car, lifeless, the engine still running. Lee was rushed to Ben Taub Hospital, fighting for his life with multiple gunshot wounds.
This page, this AI, this shit is descriptive as hell, ain't it? Am I tripping? Or he like getting very descriptive? It's like, bro, to see everything he's saying.
Hours later, he was gone too. Witnesses described the shooter only as a black male. He fled the scene in a small black SUV. No name, no arrest, no justice. The case remains unsolved. But a year before KJ was killed, 8-9 had already felt the pain of losing one of their own. His name was Charles. On the night of June 20th, 2020, shots rang out in Acres Homes. Police said a black sedan pulled up near Wheatley Street in Glen Avenue.
So this is the origin? Like,
they claimed someone inside opened fire on a group standing outside. Charles was hit in the chest. He was rushed to the hospital, and at first, officials said he was expected to survive. But he didn't. And for the people who knew him, the story the news told wasn't the truth. They didn't believe it was a drive-by. They said it was personal. According to those close to Charles, it wasn't strangers in a car who pulled the trigger. It was someone he trusted, a friend who, they said, was jealous, a friend who pulled the trigger and then called it an accident. Whether it was jealousy, hate, or betrayal, the end result was the same. 8-9 buried another young life. After Charles' death, they began repping 620, the date he was killed. And when KJ was murdered a year later, 8-9 tied both names together.
When I had kids, one thing I would tell my son, I'd be like, bro, don't hang around nobody that jump around and play with guns like it's a toy, bro. Anybody that deal with a firearm like it's a toy, bro, they too impulsive. Like it's like people like that don't have self-control, bro. I feel like they can get body snatching, even if it was an accident, even if it wasn't. You can't play with nobody that don't take life serious, bro. And people that play with guns like that, not play with guns like, I love weapons, I love firearms. I'm about to purchase me an AR, you know what I'm saying? But like playing around, jumping around, flagging niggas and shit. I never hung out with niggas like that, even growing up. You loose with that
Carrying
shit.
620 for Charles and 8-9 for KJ. 2 young lives, 2 death dates. 2 names that became the foundation of their identity.
The foundation of their identity. You gotta hear when he say that. They be living off this trauma. Nigga trying to
BNG,
make
Breaking
careers
News
off of
Gang.
it, bro.
A set out of Garden City clicked with
That's the
PMO, power
dollar.
moves only. For a while, they ran with 8-9. But in the streets, alliances don't always mean loyalty. Sometimes, they're just setups waiting to happen. July 2021. BNG rapper Daro Baby brought 8-9 member Trey out to a video shoot for his single Mash to Gash. The video dropped on YouTube that same month, and there's Trey, blue hoodie, clutching an AR pistol, posted up like family. But behind the scenes, Daro Baby already had a different plan. He wasn't just shooting a video, he was staging a backdoor.
What?
When the cameras stopped rolling, Trey slipped into another room with a female. That's when Daro Baby made his move. He grabbed Trey's ARP and walked out. That off-camera moment lit the fuse.
Oh,
One act of
that's why
betrayal turned old friends into enemies. From that night on, the lines were clear. BNG and PM.
See, I ain't gonna lie. If somebody get up on you like that, but that, I don't know, man. Stealing a gun really worth killing somebody over? Technically, no. Realistically, yeah. Like in America and life, and just not even America, just humanly, yeah. On some human shit, yeah. Like spiritually, hell no. It's just a weapon, you know. I believe you steal from somebody, you gonna get your karma anyway, type shit. Especially like if you do it like posing as a friend, you gonna get yours. You know, I don't have to do nothing to you. But like, but the dude that did that, he's not free from karma neither. Like, oh, he took that from me, so I no, that don't mean you take his life. They both face karma with the decisions.
MO against 8-9 and their allies.
And
Trey wasn't about to let it slide. Later that year, he caught Daro Baby's father and opened fire.
Whoa.
Bullets tore through him. Daro Baby's father survived the bullets.
Oh, so it's
but
deep.
Trey had already proven long before then that he was willing to kill.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Back in 2019, 3 years earlier, he claimed his first life. And it happened right outside a teenager's home in a quiet Houston neighborhood. October 26, 2019. In the Barker Cypress area of Houston, 19-year-old Andreas Patterson walked outside his home for what was supposed to be a meeting. But what came next wasn't just betrayal, it was an ambush, according to his mother.
Some people came to the house and attempted to rob him, and he ran into the garage and they shot him multiple times in his back.
It was 8-9 member Trey who pulled the trigger. The murder was caught on surveillance video. The moment he ran into the garage, the shots followed. Bullets tore through his back, dropping him where he stood. Andreas collapsed inside his own home, just feet away from safety, while his family inside was powerless to stop it. Days later, Trey was arrested for the killing. But despite the murder charge, despite the video evidence, he was released on a $50,000 bond. An ankle monitor strapped to his leg was supposed to keep him in check. It didn't, because even with that monitor on, Trey kept moving, kept plotting, kept pulling triggers.
At that point, you
In May 2020, while out on bond, he caught another charge. Aggravated assault with a deadly weapon. He violated curfew. He tampered with his GPS. He ignored court orders. Again and again, the system let him walk free. By February 8, 2022, Trey's name was already stained with blood, and that night he added more. It happened in an apartment complex off Ella Boulevard. Two men had been lured there, thinking they were coming for a meeting. But what they walked into was an ambush. Trey was waiting in a parked car with 3 other men. When the victims arrived, surveillance video caught what happened next. Trey burst out of the driver's seat, assault rifle in hand, sprinting toward them. Over 50 shots tore through the night. One of the targets was hit but survived. But in the chaos, Trey's own crew fell apart. One man in the back seat opened fire as he stepped out, and another, 20-year-old John Kelly, was struck in the back of the head, killed instantly. The ambush backfired. One of their own left dead in the parking lot, while Trey and the others ran. Prosecutors later said Trey was the mastermind of that drill.
These niggas ain't even no gangsters. These niggas are psychopath kids with guns. But you can't even call them kids with guns, because like when I was growing up, niggas wasn't like, niggas that played with guns shit, they wasn't goofy, bro. Like they was getting who they wanted. Like it was beef, like, bro, it was older niggas doing goofy shit. Like man, the streets is just dumb overall. But like growing up in Oakland, bro, like you didn't really have a lot of goofies with guns, bro. I don't know how to explain it. Like, I mean, now it's like now I ain't gonna say now, but I'm saying like after, bro, after Pooh Shiesty and King Von, bro, and the rap videos, cause even though Chirac blew up, niggas had guns in the videos, Chicago videos and all that for sure. But like, and it was goofies with guns and rap videos, but they'd be like rappers, you know. They be getting the guns took all type of shit. Now it's like niggas having switch, and they never even went to the gun range before and put shots in, or never even practice had any type of training, man. This shit is crazy, bro. High caliber shit. He running out with the firearm and the dude and his friend in the back seat shooting his friend. And this shit all can exist in the same place that you live in. That's why you gotta just change your frequency, because this shit happens everywhere. It's about who you deal with and who you associate with. Like,
even while on bond for a previous murder, he had orchestrated another. By the time the case reached trial, jurors weren't just looking at Patterson's murder in 2019. They were also staring at the 2022 ambush, surveillance footage of Trey running with an assault rifle still fresh in their minds. The jury didn't hesitate. Trey was convicted of Patterson's murder.
skip this up a little bit.
2023. The night was supposed to be routine. Just another Uber ride. BNG member TJ sat in the back seat, scrolling his phone, the city lights sliding past the window. What he didn't know was that Jay Chapo from SSC was already hunting. The car slowed. The silence cracked. Gunfire tore through the air. Bullets punched into the Uber, one ripping into TJ's arm. Glass shattered. The driver panicked, slamming the gas, swerving into the night, his passenger bleeding in the back. The driver did what he could, called 911, and rushed TJ to the nearest hospital. But even in safety, the nightmare followed. Police searched TJ as doctors worked on him and found a gun. He left the hospital not as a victim, but as a suspect, loaded into the back of a patrol car. For Jay Chapo, pulling the trigger was only half the mission. The other half was making sure the world never forgot it.
Wow.
On secret animosity, he rapped, "Caught his ass in traffic. Know we did him nasty. Bet his ass won't ride in a Uber." And on 357, "Caught one on a scooter and one in a Uber. I bet they ass know how to stay in their place." But the silent sack chasers weren't done. In 2024, they came for another BNG name. And this wasn't just anybody. Daru Baby was the one who lit the fuse in the...
So crazy without the music on there, don't it? Like, without the music on there, niggas just jumping around. Catch a Glitch merch is out now, man. I got the white colors coming soon, but so far we got the black tap, man. We got medium, small, large. Lock in, man. $45 a shirt.